Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Threesome Fantasy Premier League podcast. I'll get edited out of the audio.
Good start.
I hope you are all well. Sorry, I was distracted by your hair, Ant. Sorry.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's lovely to be with you on this Wednesday lunchtime, a bit later than usual. But work commitments and holidays and stuff have put paid to the Monday night slot this week. I'm here with Mike. How are you, Mike?
Well, I'm a little bit of cold. I'm in my work office today, so apologies for any background noise. And I didn't get the memo that today was fancy dress. So my apologies. Anthony appears to have come with the haircut of Marge Simpson. And you have the facial hair of somebody that should be on some kind of register. So,
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that, but that's quite the tash you're sporting.
Yeah. Well, if I'm honest, I'd grown my facial hair to levels that were previously unknown to me, but it'd gone past the itchy phase comfortably, and then a good few weeks on after that as well, and I was starting to play with it a bit too much. It was annoying me, so I said I was going to shave it off, and my youngest, who's 4. Insisted I kept a moustache.
She's big Hitler fan.
Big on Mario.
Oh, okay, yeah,
big Mario fan.
Yeah,
so I kept a moustache. She strokes it daily, which is a treat. But my wife said that I look like someone who needs to be taken away and shouldn't be near schools. So
your wife, to be clear, your wife doesn't stroke it daily.
My wife is
at the moment.
No wonder that's
a sound clip. But no, she's not the biggest fan. I don't think. I imagine that by this point next week it won't still be there.
Well, that's some relief.
Anthony, Marge Simpson, how are you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the joys of the fact that I now have a wife who's a hairdresser who now is so busy doing everybody else's hair that I'll probably get a haircut in October. I would have thought. So this is only going to get worse. Look at it, boys. I do just need some blue dye now, and or some silver. I should join Mike in the silver route.
You should. Are you starting to spot a little island on top there? Are you following your father's footsteps?
Do you know what? I think I might be it's definitely receding. But my forehead's getting even bigger by the day. But yeah, I might be joining the old man in the old bowl patch. But we won't talk about that.
All right. Get yourself a few headbands out. I've got some I can lend you.
Okay, mate. Desperate times, desperate measures.
Exactly. So how was everyone's game week 31? Mike, how did you get on?
Yeah, I did okay. I made just the 3 transfers, which was, by my perspective, that's pretty decent. It's quite a conservative take on things. So lost 4 points, made 61, so a net of 57. Highlights and lowlights. In terms of highlights, I bought Trent in and I bought Salah in. They both scored big for me, 11 for Trent and doubled up Salah's 7 to 14. Lingard did well as well. Mount and Dina got me points. Outside of that, so it was 2s. And a couple of disappointments for me were Calvert-Lewin not starting. For Everton, I went big on Everton forwards, and they both drew blanks. And who was the other one I caught? Odegaard, who was my kind of like cheeky little punt last week. I thought, Odegaard, boys, watch and learn. And he didn't play. He's injured. So disappointing. And I think a few of us were burnt by Cresswell as well. 0 on Cresswell. Yeah, but 61 points actually for me is probably above my average this season. So
well above the weekly average this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it was down at 40 odd something.
41.
41. There you go. So yeah, it's not too bad, Mike. Chin up.
There you go.
But yeah, you got burnt a bit on Odegaard, didn't you? So
yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go on to my team next. So I had actually quite a good week considering. It was my wild card week, so I needed to try and make some gains on Ant. I was about 100 points behind him at the start of this week. The average was 41, and I got 72. I played my wild card. Yet another captaincy blank, unfortunately. But I did have some big hitters. Alexander-Arnold bought in, got 11. Kept Salah, Lingard, Iheanacho. They did well. Yeah, my Chelsea boys. I mean, I may clear my plans: triple Chelsea, triple Liverpool, maybe the odd Burnley or two for the end of the season. I'll play Mahrez every week, and if he doesn't get any points, he doesn't get any points. I think he'll be worth it in the end. I need to be different to Anthony to try and claw away at his huge point score. So yeah, pretty happy with 72. Unfortunately, with my wild card, it did mean saying goodbye to some dear friends and all my Leeds assets. Fair play to anyone who not necessarily benched Dallas and then got his points, but fair play to people who were bold enough to start him against City. Yeah, he did incredible. Mum's team did well. She beat Ant this week, I think.
I think most people beat me this week, mate.
She
we'll get on to that.
Dallas. But yeah, it did mean I was toying with the idea of keeping Bamford for 3 weeks through these bad fixtures, keeping him as a third unused sub. And regular Stefan de Jong got in touch, and he was suggesting players instead of Bamford. Now, as regular listeners will know, I've got a bit of an emotional tie to Patrick Bamford. Yeah, I just love him to bits. But
do you actually? Sorry, do you actually love him? Is it?
I do.
Surely there's a bit of irony in there.
No, I think it's the fact that he's been put down so much, and now he's come good. I love that. It's like it's like a film. You know, you can make a film of his career ending in this season because I'm not necessarily predicting he'll do well next season, but
he's had one good season.
I was torn, and Stefan de Jong pretty much convinced me. No, switch out to Chris Wood. In the end, I went for, and that made me feel sick because I don't like Burnley players. So I got in Chris Wood, who actually outscored Bamford by a point this week and got 5. But I mean, that meant I watched the Burnley game with interest. Watching Chris Wood as a Chris Wood owner is horrendous. He just doesn't move. He just stands there the whole game. It's so frustrating to watch. You think if he just moved, he could score more goals, but he doesn't. But anyway, so I penned a little song for Patrick Bamford on Friday or Saturday, maybe.
Yeah, I felt a little bit like you're gate crashing my. I thought the singing out of tune thing was my thing, but
I'm very good at singing out of tune.
It runs in the family.
So maybe it was Friday, I think. And I thought, you know what? I'll get the ukulele out. I'll rewrite a song and dedicate it to Patrick Bamford. So there I was uploading this song. I completely had no idea that Prince Philip had died. No idea there had been a royal death.
Can I just say, in the words of Tony Blackburn's tweet, RRP, Prince Philip.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony.
Recommended retail price.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't realize he died, and unfortunately, of all the songs to pick that have ever been released in the whole world, I decided to rewrite "Candle in the Wind," which of course was the song dedicated to Princess Diana when she died. So yeah, it wasn't good. So I uploaded it and then removed it fairly quickly because it looked like I was mocking the king that wasn't. So it's been suggested by my wife. I read the words now as a dedication to Patrick Bamford as an apology for selling him. Is that okay, gentlemen?
Oh yeah, I did catch wind, or I did Candle in the Wind that you were going to do this. And I've got some backing for you.
No, because a number of reasons. One, I'm literally next to my office at work through a door that isn't closable because I built it, so it actually doesn't shut fully. So Harry, who I work with, is right next door and can hear me.
I'm not asking you to sing. I'm not asking. No, not sing. Just some backing for your poem.
I know, but if I
that's an advert for Optimus Energy, whoever they are. Hold on, you're like this.
No, I'll just read. No.
Okay, you just read, and I'll just do this.
I'll just read. Goodbye, Paddy B. Oh, it's very loud.
Oh, that is
very
overpowering.
Loud.
Overpowering.
I mean, if anything, you're going to take away from what is a wonderful poem.
Okay.
Here we go.
Still quieter would be nice.
It's quieter still? How's that?
Ooh, there's a stat for that.
Goodbye, Paddy B. though I never knew you at all. You scored a massive 14 goals, but Gareth has still not called. I got you in game week 2. I'll buy you back in 34. But City, Liverpool, United are not fixtures I adore. And it seems to me you've played this year like Ronaldo in his prime. Scoring 3 against the Villa. It was Bamford time. And I would have liked to hold you, but Chris Woods tempted me in. I'll have you back in 34. Me and Bielsa and his bin.
Well, that was lovely, Phil.
Did you just say you want to hold Patrick Bamford?
As in hold him in my team. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, physically,
I thought-
I'd hold him. I'd give him a little hug, because I don't think he'd do anything untoward in response. I think he would just accept the hug and we'd move on.
I'm sure he would.
So Patrick Bamford's gone. He'll be back. It was sad to see he got subbed off as well when there was the sending off in the Leeds game. But what a result for Leeds! What a game that was! It was insane.
It was a
Brilliant.
turn up, wasn't it? And I think they had 2 shots on target and 2 goals. So
Just shows.
yeah.
Maybe it was all down to old Nathan Ake. Must have been his fault.
Oh, poor Nathan.
A rare old start for him, and look what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's not link the two things. Anthony, how was your game week?
Well, boys, I think we know how my week was. Put it this way, it wasn't good. And I blame my son solely for this because he had the audacity to have a birthday on Friday, which meant my attention was not on FPL or a certain early deadline. So there I was thinking it was a normal Saturday deadline and had no idea there was a Friday night game until you messaged me, Phil, saying, have you put your team on Twitter for our punt winner? And then realised this was like 1 minute. I was at 6:31, I think, so I completely missed it. I had 2 free transfers there, sat there waiting that I was going to make. I was going to get rid of my City assets. I was going to join the Lingard train and get on that. Missed that all. Still had Harry Kane as captain. So yeah, I ended up with a whopping 38 points, boys. So I know you had particular fun on Sunday, sending me some WhatsApp pictures of your teams that got Lingard in it and mine that doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a quick look here at the Fantasy Threesome podcast league. Incidentally, I've broken into the top 100.
Well done,
Yeah.
The chances of you winning the league are receding quicker than your hairline, and you have
over 100 points to make.
You've dropped to 5th place now, mate.
Yeah,
and 122 points is the gap.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be quite happy just to try and get 3rd place back. But yeah, forgetting deadlines or missing deadlines isn't ideal, is it? Really?
But you did make some transfers, didn't you? Because you bought Aubameyang in.
No. I've had him in for a few weeks.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, so I had 2 transfers sat there, like ready to go. Didn't do them. So the only slice of luck is I had Aubameyang, who must be the only person who's got flu in the whole of the country. So he didn't play. And Ollie Watkins came off my bench and got me 8 points. Other than that, yeah.
Sorry. Don't know if you've heard, there is a bit of a flu going around at the moment.
Yeah, it's called COVID.
Okay.
They have said that flu has, died due to COVID, supposedly. But anyway.
Oh, I've got it at the moment.
Oh, have you?
The flu, that is not COVID.
Right, okay.
You look pretty good for someone who's got flu.
Thank you. Holding up. My nose has been like the Niagara Falls all morning. It's been horrendous. My colleague who sits opposite will testify. I've been sniffling all morning. Yeah, not good.
I thought if you had I thought if you had a sniffle these days, you weren't allowed in the offices, just in case.
Yeah, no, we've got lateral flow testing. Anyway, this is incredibly dull. Sorry. But yeah, so Anthony, 38 points. 3rd place is still in reach. You can still medal position, mate. You're only 19. No, you're only 9 points off 3rd.
Yeah. That is my first bad week for a while, and I'm putting that solely down to the fact that I missed the deadline. Simple as that. So there you go, boys. So, but I'm glad it gave you boys a bit of pleasure in my pain.
Yeah.
Feels within now exactly 60 points, I see. So a couple more weeks like that. Bad ones for me, good ones for you, Phil. I really will be having to look over my shoulder.
I gained 34 points on you this week.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Another couple more like that, mate. Then I am in a bit of trouble. But as for Mike, mate, you must be happy to get in the top 100. The top 50 will be next.
Well, yeah, I'm just having a quick look here. So I'm just doing the maths. How many weeks are there left?
7, I think.
Is it 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so I only need to gain 52 points on you every week, and and I turn this around. So
the big question then, boys, because Anthony Anthony used his son as an excuse to not have his captain picked by Asmin last week.
Sorry, Yasmin. I do apologise. I'm sorry.
So I assume Ant will have his captain picked by Asmin this week.
It seems only fair.
It does.
Perfect.
And this is a double-edged sword now for me because I think we'll get onto this now with the punts. But again, I was at least happy that my punt came in with Pereira on Sunday before you then said, well, hang on a minute. It's not down to you now. So, yeah. So an absolute shocker for me, boys.
On the upside, Anthony, you as a victor in the punt, you can run the game this week, but it's just for fun, Mike.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Does that sound like a plan?
Unless we want two of us having our captain picked.
No.
No, that's
okay,
fine.
as you were.
I'll take the punishment, boys. So I've got 4 players here, boys. Similar theme to Phil. So players who I'm going to run through their clubs, and you need to try and guess who that player is.
Okay.
Obviously, just to clarify the rules, as Phil was quite strict on them, you must say your name before you have your guess. Right.
Well, he was strict on them in moments, not so strict in others. But
mainly when it involved you. Right.
Yes.
Here we go, boys. Our first player is, obviously I'm not going to tell you, but his first club is Oadby Town.
Oadby.
Could you spell that, please?
Oadby.
Okay.
Any guesses?
No. Oh no, go on. I'll go Neto.
Incorrect.
Phil.
Mike Neto.
Fraser Forster.
Incorrect. Next club, Ilkeston. Any guesses, boys?
Harry Kane.
He didn't say your name.
Phil.
Mike Harry Kane.
No.
Phil.
I hate this game.
Wan-Bissaka.
Incorrect.
Ah,
Next club, boys, Sheffield United.
okay. Now we're cooking on gas a bit.
Phil Jagielka.
Incorrect. Phil, have you got a guess?
Phil, Tour Andre Flo.
Incorrect. I mean, these are current FPL players, by the way, boys. Current FPL players.
I panicked. I panicked. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Could tell. Right. Next club, Birmingham City.
Oh. Ooh. I'll tell you what.
Mike.
Yes.
Oh no, he went there on loan from United. I was going to say Jesse Lingard.
Oh, Phil.
Incorrect. Yes.
Harry Maguire.
Wrong.
I mean, that is a terrible. What? Why did I say that?
No idea. Right. So this is now his current club, and I would imagine we'll get it off this. Southampton. Who went to Birmingham from Birmingham to Southampton, where they have been since 2019?
Mike. It's J Adams, J Adams.
For a man who's in the office and ill, that is an incredible celebration, and that is also correct.
Thank goodness for that.
This is a lot harder than it is when you know the answers.
There you go.
I'll do that.
1 down, 3 to go. So here we go with the next one. 1-0 to Mike then. So this player's first club was Yate Town. Yate, just to clarify.
Okay.
Any guesses off that?
I think they've got blonde hair. That's all I've got from this.
Right.
Okay.
Mike's dying, so let's move on.
Okay, Phil.
Go
on. Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
No. Right. Next club, Chippenham Town.
Oh, Chippenham, not too far from here.
Indeed.
Wiltshire.
Mike.
Yes.
Lewis Dunk.
Incorrect.
Phil,
any guess from you?
Dwight McNeil.
Incorrect. Next club, Ipswich Town.
Oh, Ipswich again.
Any guesses, boys? Do you want me to move on?
Phil.
You can move. Oh, okay. No, don't move on.
Doherty.
Incorrect. Next club, and this should be the one that gives you the biggest clue, I'd imagine. AFC Bournemouth.
Mike.
Go on, Mike.
Are these in order, these clubs?
Yeah. Sorry, did Mike just fall asleep then?
Jamie Peters. No, it's not.
From Ipswich to Bournemouth? No, incorrect.
He
Phil?
did come to us on loan from Ipswich.
Ipswich to Bournemouth, and in the Premier League now.
He is a current Premier League player.
Struth. Jamie Clapham. I've no idea.
Okay,
Jamie Clapham, I don't recall him playing for Bournemouth.
No,
Jamie Peters played for Bournemouth.
This will be whoever can say your name quickest, I think, with the next one. So this is their current club, Aston Villa.
Mike,
Phil.
Tyrone Mings.
Yeah, it wasn't Mike. Yeah, well done, Mike. Yeah. I'm absolutely amazed, boys, you didn't get it on the old Ipswich to Bournemouth there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I forgot about
if
that.
you asked me to name any player in the Premier League right now, I don't know if I could.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
Okay, well, that bodes well.
Well, good.
But you never know. Next one, maybe.
Okay, right. So here we go. Next one. So their first club, Cambridge FC.
Oh, rather
Phil.
than United, that's disappointing.
Go on, Phil.
Robert Snodgrass.
Incorrect. Mike, any guess from you?
No.
I mean, this player has a number of clubs. The next one was Hamilton Wanderers.
Phil.
Yes.
Harry Kane.
Incorrect.
Kilman. Mike Kilman.
Oh.
You want to kill him? No, it's not, I'm afraid.
Kill me. Yeah.
The next club was Walkato FC. Walkato.
That's the clue I needed. Michael Keane. Phil, Michael Keane.
Incorrect.
Mike Connor Cody.
Wrong. Next club, West Bromwich Albion.
Oh.
Now things start
Phil.
to shape up.
Oh. Barnes.
No. Mike?
No.
No. Good. Okay. Next club, Barnsley on loan.
Doesn't help me at all. Phil. Ben
Go on.
Me.
Incorrect.
Bend me, shake me any way you want me.
Don't shake you, it's shape.
Oh, is it?
Bend me, shape me.
Oh, I've been doing it wrong all these years.
Oh,
You've been shaking people.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, where to go? West Brom.
Then
They
Barnsley.
went to Barnsley on loan.
Mike John Stones.
Incorrect. Next club, Brighton on loan.
Phil.
Yes.
Lewis Dunk.
Incorrect.
No, nothing on this at the moment.
Next club, Birmingham on loan.
Oh gosh.
Got a lot of loans.
A lot of loans. There's another 3 loans to go, boys.
Just keep them coming and we'll stop you.
Phil, Declan Rice.
Incorrect. All right, I'll read out his next 3 loan clubs. If you've got any ideas, just shout. So Bristol City, Millwall, and Leicester.
Oh,
Mike.
Leicester on loan.
Think I've got it.
Oh,
Go on.
Chris Wood.
Winner!
Yeah!
that is
That's
impressive.
3-0 to Mike. Slam dunk. I don't know how on earth you got that, because I did not know half those. Yeah. So just to finish off, Leicester City the loan, then turned permanent, then Ipswich on loan, then Leeds United, and obviously now Burnley.
Very
I remember
impressive.
119 appearances.
Yeah, I remember him scoring against us at Leicester. Sorry, against Bournemouth, whilst at Leicester on loan from West Brom. That's what gave it to me. I was at the game at the King Power. So,
very good.
Last one then for a sense of pride.
Well, I've actually just closed it off because at 3-0 up, and this is an absolute cruise. It's just for pride. It was just for fun. So we'll give that victory to Mike, I think, boys.
Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations, Mike. Well done.
Well, I'm absolutely flying on this game.
I tell you, I'm terrible at that sort of thing.
I was expecting better of you, Phil. I was expecting better.
You know what my memory's like. It's not great.
It's not the best, but that was just for pride. I will still be posting my team this week if I obviously remember the deadline.
Friday I think there's a game on Friday, Anthony.
Oh, is there? Oh no.
Yeah, so you'll want to be doing it. In fact, there's a very long game week.
You're right. 16th of April, 6:30. Okay, I'll ensure it is on Twitter before then.
Okay, good stuff. Right, so let's get to listener questions then. The first question we've got is regarding Chelsea. Is the Chelsea rotation now an issue for those who have gone big on Chelsea, like me, I suppose? Is Chelsea rotation now an issue? Is that putting you off getting Chelsea people in?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're still involved in the FA Cup. They're still involved in the Champions League. So he's going to have to rotate. He's going to have to, and I understand that. Azpilicueta, I think mine and your teams, Phil, have suddenly become very similar over the last couple of weeks.
No, I checked, and we've got hardly anyone similar.
But I've made some transfers this week, so
So what you're saying is you've copied my team because I've had one good week.
Yes.
How many transfers, Mike?
4.
Oh, that's low for you.
Yeah. So I think Azpilicueta is one that we've all tipped. I looked at Christensen a while ago. Oh, do you know? Oh, okay. So I do. Christensen, I tipped a few weeks ago. He was really cheap, but again, it's being swapped in and out a little bit. Up front, you just don't know who he's going to. Yeah, I think it is difficult. Even Mount has not been starting every game, so tricky.
But he has such an impact that even when he comes on, and he seems to get points, doesn't he? Came off the bench the other week when he was resting and gets points. So it is a difficult one, isn't it? It's one.
It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money.
No.
Likewise, I've got Reece James. I bought him in on my wild card, and he doesn't start all the time, but he came off the bench, got an assist. I love
Reece James. I love him as an asset in this game, but he's frustrated and excited in equal measure at times this season. When he's played, he's been great, but too often he's been rested up or swapped out.
So that I find very tricky. But I'm going to stick with my 3 Chelsea players to answer the question. I'll still be sticking as long as I've got bench players that are playing. I've got Rudiger, Mount, and James. James is on the chopping block before the other 2. But at the moment, I don't see the need to change him. We've had a question come in from Bethany Megan on Twitter. Anthony, this one's probably best for you. Cody or Semedo? I saw Semedo, who was your punt last week, did well this week, kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't really look into that Semedo thing an awful lot that week because I'd actually managed to pick the same punt as you. So I just kind of panicked and he was the first player I saw who was on kind of 2% really. Yeah. Wolves' assets have been a bit of a funny one this year, haven't they? Wolves, who've been so impressive since they've been back in the Premier League, have just had a bit of a funny season, haven't they? And without looking into it in great detail, I haven't actually seen too much. I would probably suggest that Semedo may give you a bit more kind of attacking points, possibly. I'm just going to have a quick look at their points, actually.
If I could interject, Bethany,
there's a stat for that.
No, I've dropped that. That wasn't very well received last week.
No.
It's fine, boys. It's fine. It's on the cutting room floor along with my special 11s. And every other feature I've introduced this season. I've actually bought Connor Cody in this week, and I did look at Semedo, but of the 2, Cody sits at 4.8, whereas Semedo is 5.2. Depends how much kind of room you've got to maneuver in terms of finance. Semedo has come in with less points as well than Cody thus far this season. So
85 to 92.
Yeah. So I think Cody's a good shout at 4.8, and I've bought him in. I really like their next 3. If you look at the next 3 fixtures, they've got Sheffield United at home, Burnley at home, West Brom away.
That's a really good shout, yeah. Which is,
I don't see them doing too much going forward. I think if you're looking at Wolves' assets, you're looking at defensively. But yeah, I like him.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for the question,
Bethany. Next question: how important is it to have a strong bench now? Do we go all or nothing, have a great starting 11 with nothing on the bench, or do we save money and have a half decent bench? What's your plan, Ant?
Well, I think if you forget deadlines like I do, then it's pretty crucial to have a good bench, because I was kind of saved with that, with having 8 points coming off the bench with Ollie Watkins. I mean, historically, I've always had a good first 11, or so I thought, and then a rubbish bench for the £4 million players. But I think at this time of the season as well, with, like you say, with Chelsea, with Man City rotating all the time, I think you need that backup of a half decent bench, because with quite a few clubs at the moment, you don't seem to know week to week who's actually going to play. But that would be my view on it. I don't know what you boys think.
I'm in total agreement. I've never been about the bench, but I think it's it's to quote. Here we go. Here's our sing out. It's all about the bench. Megan Trainor. That's going to be a good one. Looking forward to that. I've got Cresswell, Dawson, and Rafinha on my bench at the moment, which is pretty strong. Despite some of the point hauls from Cresswell in recent weeks. I think especially now you hit the end of the season, we've had a lot of games that have been cancelled and and sort of Constantina towards the end of the season. You've got folk we've already mentioned. Chelsea still in the Champions League. So are Liverpool at the moment. We don't know what will happen there. So are Man City. If you look at the Europa League, you've got Man United still active there. And you've still got Arsenal at the moment. At time of recording, they're still involved as well. So, and then you've got League Cup, Man City in the League Cup final against Spurs. Spurs double game weeks. So there's still a lot of fixtures going on in and around all this. And I think it would be foolish not to have a half decent bench.
Yeah, I must admit I'm inclined to agree. My starting lineup at the start of the season was 11 wonderful players. One sort of possibly might play on the bench, and the other two were just enablers, cheapest of the cheap. I think we all got lucky at the start of the season when Mitchell was playing. He was,
I was going to say what we like to call a Tyreek Mitchell,
Yeah, so, but now my bench the other day was like Iniacho. He came off the bench for me to get 13 points.
Ooh, jammy.
Yeah, it was a bit, so sorry about that.
I'm saying that purely because I think you put a tweet out on Sunday morning, wasn't it, saying how lucky I was having Ollie Watkins to come off for 8, and then you had that for 13, which did make me smile. But anyway, yeah,
I was replying to another one, but there is an element of that.
But it kind of proves, doesn't it? I think we proved that, haven't we? Just with those two alone, that I think you do need that bench asset or backup at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's essential now, isn't it? I mean, you need to have pretty much 3 playing players on the bench. It's not even 1 or 2 now. You've got to just go for it.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so bench strength is crucial then. So how many Spurs assets are you getting in, and which ones? It's a double game week this week for Spurs. So what are you thinking, Ant?
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't planning to bring any, but like I say, it's a double game week, isn't it? And one of those games is at home to Southampton. Southampton are just in a pretty terrible run of form at the moment, aren't they? Bar that comeback win against Burnley. I mean, I've got Harry Kane sat there as captain. I was debating whether to make him triple captain. I'm still sat there with that chip there that's kind of eating away at me, and I just don't know when to play it. Other than that, I mean, difficult with Spurs again, wasn't it? They fell apart, didn't they, after taking the lead against United on Sunday. Son again might be one to look at, but I don't know what you boys think. But Spurs,
sorry guys, Son. He's not March yellow, but I understand there is still an eyelash out of place from the McTominay. So he's a doubt. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that watching that game. That was pretty.
I tell you what, again,
VAR this weekend was diabolical.
That's all it is every weekend still, isn't it? How long are we down the line with VAR now? And every weekend, that's all I see on Twitter or on our WhatsApp conversations is just VAR. Yeah, I mean, it's just gone silly. So one of the beauties of being in the Championship, I guess, boys, we don't have to worry about that. We can actually celebrate a goal.
Exactly.
But yeah, going back to Spurs, I mean, I am going to finally use my 2 free transfers, but despite the double game week, I don't think I'll be rushing out to get any Spurs assets. I mean, boys, how many have you got?
I've just got Kane, and I had Bale and Son, transferred them out last week, despite the fact I knew a double game week was coming up. Bale's not getting the game time anyway, so I've not lost too much there. And like I say, Son is a major doubt. So I'm not going to bring anybody else in from Spurs.
No.
They're a team that are, as you've alluded to, they're very up and down.
Yeah, they're unpredictable, aren't they? It's worth remembering that Spurs have double fixture this game week, but then no fixture the next game week.
Exactly.
I can't believe that you're, well, A, that you've still got a triple captain, and B, that you're only considering it. Surely it's nailed on that you play it. You play Kane triple captain.
Well, it would be, but of course, boys, I don't have the power of my captain this week, do I?
Oh, that's exciting. Well, that would make it all the more exciting, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, it would.
I'll tell you what, we should have played that. We should have played that game, me versus you. And I would have put my captainship on the line, and you would have had to triple captain, have that picked by a listener.
Well, I'm so pleased we haven't done that. Because you would have been smug.
Yes, I would.
I've got I don't know if you remember when I was talking through my wild card last week, I said I might bring in Fernandes, who, by the way, is still pointless in this game at the moment. Bring in Fernandes and use his money and that position as the position I swap each week, either targeting a weak team or like this week as a double game week. So it makes sense to do Fernandes to Son just for a week. Fernandes didn't really get up to much, did he, the other day?
4 blanks in the last 5, I think.
Yeah.
No goals. No
Who's the weak
assists.
team? Who's the weak team that you target at the moment? We talked at the start of the season. I was following West Ham week by week and picking teams that were playing against them. Who's the weak team at the moment? It's really difficult to call. West Brom have had a resurgence. Southampton, you never know which Southampton are going to turn up. Fulham, there's the occasional kind of glimmer of light, and then they fade. But it's difficult, isn't it?
Even Newcastle picked up a very unlikely win at the weekend, didn't they? Having been a goal down. So, and on that, just in terms of the bottom 3, that's the bottom 3, despite West Brom getting a couple of results. That's the bottom 3 gone, isn't it? You would suggest?
I think so. I think the only difference might be that West Brom actually pip Fulham upper place. But I think
Agreed.
that's
Yeah, I can't see it changing too much. I think Southampton are a team to target. They haven't got a game the week after next, but they're a team to target. I would say they're in that position where they're safe, but they've got nothing real to play for, and they don't look like they're playing for any. They've had a patchy season with injuries to Ings. That's upset them a bit and upset the balance, I think. But I would maybe Southampton. Not West Brom anymore. Certainly, they seem to have got their stuff sorted and targeting Leeds. Because they let in goals defensively. I mean, they're only letting 1 against City.
I think Sheffield United obviously goes without saying, doesn't it? But even Arsenal scored 3 against them at the weekend. But I think that's those teams covered. Yeah.
Okay. So in answer to the Spurs question, I will probably have 2 Spurs players. I'm not going to take a -4 to get a Spurs defender in because I don't know which Spurs defender is going to play. And Lloris might be an option. And you've had Lloris quite a few times.
I've had him before, but he's not overly reliable. And like you say, Spurs don't tend to clean sheets. Just looking at fixtures, though, one interesting thing just to point out is that their first game of the 2 is Everton away. Now Everton have struggled at home, haven't they, at Goodison in recent weeks. I work with an Everton fan actually, who was moaning this morning at me about their failure again to win at home. So if Spurs can target that and maybe get an early goal, that could be a game that they might win at. But the trouble is with Spurs at the moment, you just don't know. And again, Jose seems to me that he's kind of clinging on by his fingernails, and with that one, I think.
What do you think's happening to Leicester? That's the next question.
I'm worried about Leicester. I'm worried because I already before the Leicester even played their game, I swapped out my Everton players as soon as the transfers became available for this week. I had the double Everton up top. I had Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, and I've swapped them out for Vardy and Iniacho. So, and I know that Vardy's a lot of money, but again, we talked about Sheffield United. Not Sheffield United. Wolves games coming up. Leicester's are pretty exciting too. West Brom home, Crystal Palace home, Southampton away, Newcastle home.
Yeah,
Iniacho is absolutely flying at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming this season. Yeah, he's a right old goal scoring guy at the moment.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, of the 2, he's much more exciting as an option. If you look, I bought him in. Maybe I should have done this research before I bought him in. But if you look at the last 6 game weeks, Vardy's only scored higher than 2 points once.
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, I've just spent 10 million on him, so
okay. I love the way you play the game, Mike. You just welcome all the time. It's just it really is beautiful.
Welcome on board, Jamie. Yeah,
quite incredible. Oh, is Phil gone?
Oh gosh, I think he has gone.
No,
I'm back. Can you?
Oh, he's back. Yeah, he's back now. There was a lovely moment where I thought that we'd been invaded by some kind of, I don't know, Eastern European market trader. Actually, with the belts hanging behind you there, Phil, you do look very much like somebody from the opening scene of Aladdin, with all your belts hung up and your headband and your moustache.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll take it.
I can't remember the song that they sing at the start. Otherwise, I'd go out with that today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Leicester conceded 3 against West Ham, who always seem to score 3 and then just let the other team back in. they miss Barnes, don't they? Massively.
Well, yeah, don't
Yeah.
get me started on that. I'll get quite cross about it. Very disappointed by the antics there.
And was it him and Madison, wasn't it? They were all breaching COVID rules, weren't they?
Oh, really? I'm completely unaware of this.
Really? Yeah. Chowdhury, Madison,
Madison,
Barnes, and Perez had a party at Perez's house, and
When?
apparently
Bunch of
Brendan Rodgers
bonkers.
heard about it, and Brendan Rodgers turned up at the house, and then he'll switch the lights off to pretend they weren't there, despite all their cars were up and down the street.
Hilarious.
So then
No.
Brendan Rodgers goes home. I mean, I love this. This is like, like he's some kind of school teacher. He turns up at the house and they all hide and then they sneak off.
Amazing.
Wow. Was this recently, Ant?
Yeah, this was just before the last game, I believe.
Oh, okay. I was
Hence
just
why he
about to
was-
suggest bringing in some Leicester.
Well, the other thing, just there on the side of caution with Leicester, where they got all that going on, but of course the next game is against West Brom. Now West Brom's tails are going to be up, aren't they?
Yeah.
After that, I mean, I still can't. I know Chelsea had 10 men, but that was one of the results of the season a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Even with 10 men, Chelsea to score 5 against them was incredible, and it could have been more against Southampton. They had that ridiculous VAR decision where they had to stick with the on-field decision because they couldn't get the lines in the right position, or whatever the excuse was.
Yeah.
So it could and should have been more. So Leicester assets possibly, but maybe not this week. West Brom. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if West Brom go there and sneak that result.
Yeah, they couldn't make that decision on the offside because a player was in the way. I mean, even though you could clearly see
Yeah, it was the wrong
that
player.
he was about a foot away from that line that they'd drawn.
Weird.
Very odd. Okay, so Leicester, you're getting maybe Iheanacho. Mike's gone big on him, but and for a bit of common sense, are you
Possibly.
worried about them?
What, Leicester?
Yeah, their asset. What Leicester players do you have?
I don't have any actually at the moment. So
okay.
yeah, so I might bring Iheanacho in, but he would be the only one at the moment.
Okay. Well, that kind of moves on to our next question then from Mr. Lanius. And are you now quaking in your boots because I gained some points on you?
Well, we know how mentally weak I am, mate, and normally you were quite good at getting inside my head. So, but no, actually, on this occasion, no, I'm not. No, I'm pretty confident that I can hold you off. I'm still aiming for that top 3, boys. I'm still aiming for that podium place, and I just need to make sure that I actually look at deadlines. Lesson learned on that one, boys. So, but no, I mean, I say that now. If you beat me by another 30 or 40 points this week, then I may well be.
Are you not tempted to look at my team and take, I don't know, a 20-point hit to make sure you've got exactly the same, and that way I can't catch you up?
Well, that's also very boring, and I am also my own man. I like to think for myself, mate. I have got my own team, my own tactics. I could do that, but that would be incredibly boring.
Yeah.
So I've got bit of excitement ahead of this weekend. A little bit of product placement. I've got a brand new copy of Football Manager 2021 to give away to one person, the person who gets the highest score over me in our league this weekend. So whoever gets the highest score above me in our league, basically whoever gets the highest score in our league this week,
above you or anyone, Mike.
if they beat me, I mean, if I win, if I'm the highest score in the league this week, then I'm not handing out the prize. But whoever gets the highest score in the league this week will win a copy of Football Manager 2020-2021.
Well, there we go.
Exciting, that.
Yeah.
Do it's hard to catch those 2 at the top.
Yeah, I was going to say, the top 2 are gone, but yeah, be good.
But they've been consistent. They've been consistent, but have they had great spikes?
What I would say about them is I've never seen them have a bad week.
Okay.
I've never seen them have an average or below average score.
Well, there you go.
And that's why they're at the top, boys. That's why they're at the top.
Throw that in there. A little bit of glitter, a little bit of sparkle.
Oh, I do love a bit of glitter and sparkle. So, last listener question before we quickly get onto the fixture preview. Fulham, City, Spurs, Saints all have no games in game week 33. Are you doing anything to prepare for that? Mike?
No, because I think of those teams you mentioned, the only player I've got is Kane. So I'm pretty cushy.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as Mike. Yeah, I haven't got any Fulham assets. City assets I'm going to ship out now because Pep's changing his team every week. The league is won despite the defeat to Leeds. So yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat.
Oh yeah, Pep Roulette. That was another feature that got left on the cutting room floor.
I didn't mind your stats.
No, it's
I
fine.
loved having Opta on board last week. It's
No,
lovely stuff.
Sorry.
And I didn't mind. It certainly got better with the Australian accent. Your little
Okay.
catchphrase.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Good.
Fixture preview then. Let's have a look at the fixtures. See if there's anything that stand out. I don't know.
I think we're tight for time.
I'm just doing that. I'm saying, type for time.
Time.
It's fine. I mean, you got no better to be.
Double game week
Let's
for
just have a
Spurs.
quick run
Let's
through
rattle through them.
Okay. So Everton Spurs Friday night. That's going to be a tight one, I reckon.
Well, I think Mike.
Consistent teams.
I was going to just quickly say Mike was on a call, I think, but I did just say flag out Everton's dodgy home form at the moment. So 2 teams, Everton dodgy at home, Spurs just dodgy full stop. Could go either way that one, but I'm gonna say Spurs are going to win that 1-0 with a Harry Kane winner.
I hope so. I think I'll be sticking captaincy on Kane. It makes sense, doesn't it?
God, there's an ice cream van outside, lads. I might have to go. I really might have to.
He's going to go. See you next week, Mike.
For those listening to the audio podcast, he's frantically trying to find his money. I've never seen him move. I've played football with him, and I've never seen him move this fast.
The absolute panic on his face.
I mean, it's like he's never heard that ice creams exist. I don't know what he's doing.
Sorry about that. I pulled my headset out in the excitement of it all, looking out the window. There's an ice cream van.
Love that.
Wow, that is special. Then Saturday, there's only 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. And then there's sort of a game. I mean, there's something to watch every day, I suppose, but it's a very long game week. So Saturday, Newcastle, West Ham. That'll be really interesting to see how Newcastle's resolve is against West Ham when they're playing the way they are at the moment.
Just quickly on West Ham, are they going to come top 4, do you think, boys?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it.
I think they are, and I've looked at their fixtures. Excuse my colleague, who is incredibly loud. But, it's his office too. West Ham's fixtures. They have Newcastle away. I'll do happy voice for good stuff and sad voice for bad stuff. Yeah. Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Burnley away, Everton at home, Brighton away, West Brom away, Southampton home. That is a nice little run of fixtures. Really, Chelsea apart.
There was more high than low.
They are all winnable games.
I got distracted by your fairy tale character voice. What team were you in? Who's fixtures today?
West Ham.
Yeah.
So they're playing Newcastle, Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton, and Chelsea. But, 6 of those 7 games are, on paper, very winnable, especially the form they're in. Yeah. So, I think they're going to do it.
You get more? Would you get more West Ham assets in? I dropped Cresswell.
I can't get more West Ham assets in. I've got 3 already. Okay.
You had Cresswell come in off the bench this week, didn't you, Mike?
Oh yeah, big fat 0. Yeah, lovely. yeah.
Next game is Saturday night then, because of the royal funeral. It's been moved to the evening. It's Wolves Sheffield United. That's. I mean, I tell you what.
Who's going to be watching that when Bournemouth Norwich is on the telly?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Zero idea. That doesn't. Yeah, that's not a great game, is it? Sheffield United, bless them, just going through the motions now, aren't they? So,
well, I bought Patricio in goal as well as Cody.
Oh, nice.
That's a good job. I mean, I think if ever there was a game to get some Wolves assets in, this is the one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Fabio Silva, maybe my call earlier in the season. Well, before the season,
he's not been playing. That's your problem.
He comes off the bench and he's got very nice hair.
He has got.
He's got lovely hair. Yeah.
So I'm all for that. Sunday then, Arsenal, Fulham, Man United, Burnley. Looks like 2 bankers. Just like you two.
Oh,
brilliant. Yeah, I would have to agree with that, mate. It certainly does.
You tempted for Lacazette, Ant, because you were a big fan earlier in the season. He's got good fixtures. He's doing well.
No.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I've had my fill of Lacazette this season. Thank you very much, and that lasted all of 3 games, which you boys enjoyed to great glee. But no, not again. Arsenal, you just don't know, do you? What team are going to turn up? And I will not be touching them with a barge pole. Thank you very much.
They've got great fixtures.
They have great fixtures, but it's not played on paper, mate. It's played on grass.
Burnley, for me, we tip them as bit. Oh, you're right there, lads.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
We tipped Burnley to have a really good run end of season, but it looks like the wheels are falling off. And away at Man United, despite the fact United have got a game Thursday night this week ahead of the Sunday fixture, I think they put Burnley to to the sword there. So yeah, I'd agree. 2 home bankers.
I'll be benching Chris Wood. I can't see him scoring against United because he's going to have to move. That would be problematic. Which is he got an assist the other day by moving, so I'm surprised he didn't take up that for the rest of the game. It's a good attitude to have when you're playing football.
Indeed.
Monday night, then this would be a good one. Leeds at home to Liverpool. Liverpool
should be goals in that.
Plenty of goals.
I mean, that is a fixture that produced one of the greatest Premier League goals ever. Oh, Tony Yeboah. One of my favourite non-Bournemouth players ever. Oh, Tony. Yeah, a game, Leeds have had a lot of plaudits this season, some of which I've not always agreed with, but I put it this way, you wouldn't expect that to be 0-0, would you? And Liverpool, and fair play to you boys, because you brought your Liverpool assets back in. Mike made the decision at the right time to get them out, then got them back in. Salah and TAA have been out of form, so fair play. That was a good move on your part, boys.
That's amazing. Tony Yeboah wasn't even one of my favourite Tonys. That one of my favourite footballers.
Really?
Dorigo, was it Dorigo?
Tony from Hollyoaks.
Such an idiot. Tony, if you want my favourite, it's Tony Farino.
I knew you would say Tony Farino. Yeah.
Tony Farino. Or Anthony Kellett, our fellow host.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I don't like being called Tony, boys. No.
But to be honest, favourite Tony, hand on heart, it's not Farino, it's Tiger. Tony the Tiger. Yeah, of
course.
So yeah, I would. If I had another free transfer like you, Ant, I would be bringing in a Leeds player for that Liverpool game. I think that's going to be really open.
And can't stop thinking about Tony from Hollyoaks.
I just can't imagine.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, you do. He's in 2.4 Children. Come on, or his brother was. Dear. Anyway, Chelsea play Brighton, Spurs play Southampton, Aston Villa play Man City, and Leicester play West Brom. And there's going to be some goals in some of those games.
Okay.
I don't want to make it obvious that I'm on a deadline, but
we've got a minute to go, boys. So let's quickly do our punch, shall we?
Okay.
I'm gonna go dive straight in there now, and I'm gonna go Edison Cavani.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you, mate. Who are you going for, Michael?
You've stuffed me. Yeah, I'm going for Daniel Podence. But yeah, you've definitely beaten me. I like that.
Oh, thanks, man.
Okay, I'm gonna throw one out there that you won't be expecting.
Go on.
I am gonna go for. Let's see. I am gonna go for.
This feels like a.
No, this is pre-planned.
This is drawn out.
I'll tell you what. It's hard to talk without smiling at my tash. It looks that good.
It is incredible.
When I get up close to the camera, it makes my face look more circular, which is good because I've usually got a horse-shaped head, quite long.
Did I mention we're on a deadline?
Okay, cool. Joe Rodon.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Right. So Joe Rodon, Cavani, and someone who Mike will forget, who I've already forgotten.
Podence, who we know.
Podence. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
So, gents, thanks. Sorry, it's late podcast listeners this week, but we'll be back at a normal time hopefully next week. Mike, have a good week, and have a good week. Not too good a week, Ant.
Thank you, mate. I look forward to seeing you, Tash, again next week.
Well, speak to the wife.
Because I'm all about that bench. Craig Wilson. All about that bench. Rafina. I'm all about that bench. Aaron Cresswell. I'm all about
Tony
that
from Hollyoaks would really enjoy this.
Oh, this is like some sort of jazz version.
I thought you were on a deadline.
Gosh. Oh, why is it like this? Because I got boom boom chase, all the rad junk, in all the rad places. Gone wrong.
This aspect of the pod is confusing at best of times, but you're playing a completely different song and singing along to it with different words.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks, lads.
Thank you for listening. Boys. Cheers, guys. Bye.
On Twitter and stuff. Bye.